This video is the first of 2 videos about the muscles of the feet because there are so many layers and so many muscles and not enough time and maybe a kitty cat. So there are technically 4 layers of muscles to the feet, but one of them is not a muscle, it's fascia, it's the plantar fascia, and it's not included in this video. And then there's 2 more main layers of muscles, and then one that is so incredibly deep I did not include in this video. So for this first installment, I'm painting the more superficial muscles on my Brave model's right foot, and then for the second video coming soon, I'll be diving into the layer underneath this one. What you can see at this point is really the outline of the calcaneus and the flexor digitorum brevis muscle, which make up a bulk of what the foot is and what the foot does. The stability of the calcaneus and this big thick muscle underneath the plantar fascia are really responsible for stability and grip of how we use our feet and toes. The other muscles that I'm starting to paint along the edges of the feet are really abductor muscles. So on the medial side of the foot, I've outlined the abductor hallucis, and on the lateral edge, I've outlined the abductor digiti minimi. As I'm starting to actually paint these muscles in, I want to make a couple comments about the names of the muscles that are on the foot. So anything hallucis is going to mean big toe, and the way I remember that is because hallucis is like halitosis, which is bad breath, and big toes stink. And then anything digitorum is going to go to the toes, just like anything digitorum in the hands goes to the fingers, because digits. Also, like a lot of other muscles in the body, these are named for what they do. So the flexors are going to flex the toes, which you would do if you were trying to pick up a pencil with your feet. And then the adductors and abductors of the toes are a little bit weird because it's not like they're going to bring one foot out and away from your other foot. The abductors are just going to open up your toes like a proud peacock, and then the adductors are going to bring the toes back together like Beyonce's backup dancers. You'll notice that all of these muscles, including the flexor digitorum brevis, which is that biggest muscle right in the middle, are still pretty sinewy and thin, and they have long tendons that attach onto the ends of the metatarsals or the bones of the toes themselves. And this just means that there is a lot of connective tissue when we're talking about the bottom of the foot. So working into the bellies of these muscles takes a lot of manipulation and know-how to get through that thick plantar fascia and around all of this incredibly strong connective tissue that is responsible for holding the weight of who we are. A lot of the dysfunction that is associated with foot pain has to do with the fact that there are an incredible amount of anatomical parts squeezed into this tiny little space. So if you're working with a client who suffers from foot pain, or you yourself are experiencing the ache of the walk of life, remember that these little parts are just looking for a little space, in the same way that a large family might need some breathing room after a year of quarantining together. Just saying. As I mentioned before, I mainly painted some flexors and abductors in this video, and I'll label them in a second. But for your viewing entertainment, this is what flexors do. They curl the toes down, and then the abductors are going to spread the toes out away from each other for a little space. Now, if only we could teach them how to meditate.